There's an old adage that says we like to do what we're good at. And I think that is largely true, but not 100% true. The mirror image of that adage is we're good at what we like to do. And I think there's a fair amount of truth in that one too. If we like to do something, then we do it repetitively multiple times. And a pretty darn solid truth about human beings is the more we do something, the better we get at it. So even if we're not very good at something, if we do it and we do it multiple times, we'll get better at it. And the reason I bring all this up is the number one thing that makes a difference in how good of a communicator or a presenter somebody is has to do with how much they do it. So a lot of the people that we work with are instinctively quiet, instinctively introverted, not terribly talkative, prefer to stay quiet over speaking up. And so they don't practice communication and they don't practice presentation. And so they don't get any better at it. The number one thing that they can do is just decide to practice. It's way more important than whether or not they sit down with us and learn how to do it first. But having said that, very often sitting down with us and learning how to do it does tend to open certain doors for a lot of people and create the possibility of them practicing. Either way, what I say is people need to practice communicating. They need to practice presenting. And the best way they can do that is by getting out there where other human beings are and interacting with them and practicing just the basics and noticing what works and noticing what doesn't work and not kicking themselves for not being as good as they want to be. Very often people will try something and will experience some version of failure, some version of, this is way harder than I thought it was going to be, or I'm doing much worse than I want. And so they stop. But the reality is, if they just do it again, more likely than not, it'll be better than the last time. Now, I can't, there aren't any guarantees because that's not the way human beings are. Sometimes you do figure something out and you get better, and then you try again, and it's not as good as the last time. In general, the trend line is upward. You get better with practice, and the more you do something, the better you get at it. So that's my recommendation to you all. No matter where you are right now, if you are listening to this, it's because you want to get better at communication and presentation. Whether or not you're working with us right now, my recommendation to you is to practice more. Find more opportunities to interact with other human beings. Find more opportunities to present to other human beings. Just get out there and do it. And notice what works, notice what doesn't. Don't kick yourself for anything that doesn't work. Just notice it and see if you can learn from it so that you can try it a different way the next time you do it. Give it a shot and notice the trend lines.